are absolutely loaded with pears. Today I'm going to show you ways to preserve the pears 3 different ways with one basic process. Super easy and no sugar added. So I'm going to be making pear sauce, pear fruit leather, and then with the scraps, pear vinegar. So the very first 2 products we're going to make are the fruit leather and the vinegar. The cores and peels go into the jar for the vinegar. Pear pieces go into the blender. I'm not worried about taking the skin off of all of them, just the yucky parts. So any rot like this does not go into the scrap bin. Bruises can go, cores can go, peels can go, but nothing that's rotten or moldy. Okay, this is gonna get blended now. And I just pour it onto a parchment lined sheet pan. And see how it's not bright white? If you want it to stay nice and white, you're gonna wanna add lemon juice or something. I don't care. The kids don't care. So I just do it as is. The pear is thicker, so I just take a spatula and kind of put it where I want it. When I make the plum or the apple plum, it tends just to pour out a little thinner, so it just kind of fills in where it needs to go. But in this case, we're gonna put it. And I want it to be only about a 1/4 inch thick. And I try to get it even because that way it dries more equal. It's gonna, oh, you can't see, it's gonna bake at 170 for several hours. That's all the fruit leather that will fit in the oven. So you can tell when the fruit leather is ready because when you pat it, it's not sticking any longer. It usually takes a good 8 hours, but it could take a little longer than that or maybe not quite as long, depending on what temperature you have it on in your oven. Let me cut these guys up into strips. All right, these are ready to put into Ziplocs and put away for snacks. The rest of the pears will be sauce. It's the same exact process. I'm just gonna blend them and add a little bit of cinnamon. So this is gonna be the pear sauce. The leftovers from making the fruit leather, I just kept in the bottom and then added the rest of the pears. Looks like applesauce, but tastes like pears. This looks like quite a bit of pear sauce, but it's really not for us. I have 4 grown children. They're all currently living in this area. So I'm gonna make a bunch of waffles and we'll put them on top of the waffles. And anything left over will go in the fridge and it'll be gone within a few days. But if that wasn't your situation, you could actually go ahead and make this into more fruit leather or freeze it or can it. So now we need to finish the vinegar. A couple tablespoons of sugar to give those little microorganisms a good snack. I just fill it up with water. Make sure it's not chlorinated or city water. I'm not really sure what I was thinking when I was doing this. Usually I only put the fruit up to here, so I'm gonna put some of this into this little guy. Aren't they pretty? Now those vinegars will just stay there and do their thing. They'll be bubbly and fermenting. In about 3 to 4 weeks, they'll be ready to strain off and let ferment a little longer before capping off. If you're interested in making vinegar, I recently made a couple videos about that, and I'll link that into the description below. It'll give you the basics on how to do it. Well, that's all I've got for today. So until next time, see ya.